I've known Gerard Butler for a number of years, and we've been trying to work together and find the right project. And I get this call out of the blue from him, and he said, we want to make a third movie for the Felon franchise, but I really want you to come aboard and put your stamp on it and not repeat what we did. Take the essence of what the first two movies were, this big action-packed spectacle, but create it and spin it in a new direction, something that can feel not like a sequel, but a new installment that can embrace what the first two movies brought, so that it can become an origin story, so to speak, for the fan base, but it could also be an entry point into the franchise for those that weren't familiar with the first two movies. There's two qualities that I always loved about Mike Banning, and I think that, in a sense, is what Gerard Butler infuses into the character. One is he will not quit. He is a Terminator to the point of, if you break every single bone in his body and there's one bone left that can actually crawl forward, he will figure a way to crawl forward. And so it's that relentless pursuit that I think is what a scary thing is for the enemy, and that we love about Mike Banning. But it's also a person of truth. I love that he's always been matter of fact and straightforward, even when it comes to violence. Violence is the only thing that he's known, and we really wanted to go in depth more about when you are trained to become a lion, the way that our special operations forces are in the military, and become these predators where you are hunting down the enemy and protecting our country. Once you unleash somebody as a lion, it's very hard to make them a domestic house cat again. There was a tremendous amount of responsibility of saying yes to come into this franchise. One, you don't want to screw it up. And I don't mean that in any humorous way. This is a very successful franchise that has a lot of fans to it. So what you want to do is not steal away the love and the appreciation that they had for the franchise. You want to embrace it in a way that they feel like they're getting their cake and eat it too, that you are giving them the action-packed ride, you're giving them the spectacle, you're giving them the essence of Mike Banning and the characters that they have fallen in love with, and then now spinning them in a new direction, creating more complexity, adding different layers of depth, and to where you can have this heartfelt ride, really be embraced and empathetic into these characters and on the journey with them, and feel like you're a part of the action where you're experiencing it as they are. From day one, when we started Angel Has Fallen, and I said this to Jerry, and it started with a man named Mickey Nelson, who we brought in, who is a 28-year career Secret Service member, was the real Mike Banning. He guarded forward presidents all the way through Obama. And I talked to him and I said, I want this movie to feel like it's a day in the life. It's a day in the life of a Secret Service agent. It's a day in the life of a career service member. It is a day in the life in the White House, and in the world that we live in today. For the FBI, for everybody, that they're all really humanized in the way that we understand the complexities of their daily lives, their jobs, and what they do. And we brought that to all the departments in the movie. It was literally the theme that I made sure that was just embedded in everybody's heads, that make it real, make it grounded, to the point that Mickey Nelson is walking with the art department and talking about the real layout of the Oval Office and how all the modern day presidents have kept challenge coins behind their desk, because that's what they've all done. When Gerard Butler called me and wanted me to come in and do a third film in this franchise, we talked about making an origin story, so that we would take the essence of the first two movies and that big action-packed spectacle and not have them be event films per se, or event plots, I should say, where they are not about the taking of the White House, which drives the plot, or the assassination of the world leaders, which drives the plot in London Has Fallen. But this time, have the man drive the plot, so that you, one, get a structure that can really allow space to learn who Mike Banning is and what makes him tick. But also, we're meeting him in a place that he is facing inevitable reality, which is that we all meet a point in time in our lives of the point of retirement, Should we give up what we do for a living, especially for people that are in these adrenaline type jobs, physical type jobs where your physicality matters? And of course, a Secret Service agent, there's nothing more specific than that, of can you still be at the level of protection that you need to be to guard our world's leaders? And Mike is facing all of these challenges. And not only is he hiding secrets, but is he also lying to himself? And that internal conflict, I think, is what's really interesting about this movie. And that was the setup, was to put Mike Banning in a moment of self-discovery.